Hi, I'm Alina Edmunds. I'm a third-year visual communication technology major at Bowling Green State University. I'm from Plymouth, Michigan, and I was adopted from Guatemala. In '04, I was adopted from Guatemala from my two parents. It took around 3 months for me to get here to the United States. And then in '06, my sister was adopted as well, Juliana, and then we've been living here ever since.
Hi, I'm Alina Edmunds. I'm a first year at Western Michigan University studying interior design and architecture, and I'm adopted from Guatemala. I don't feel connected to my heritage from Guatemala because I was never taught or learned about any of my heritage while growing up, so I don't know anything about it really, just that I know I come from Guatemala.
Growing up, we mostly were immersed with American culture, so I'm very Americanized, but my mom, she's Cuban and Spanish, so growing up we had a lot of Cuban and Spanish traditions with when it comes to food or how we celebrated holidays, and there's always that side of the family on my mom's speaking Spanish and stuff like that.
My mom is Cuban and she's fluent in Spanish, yet she never taught me and my sister Spanish, so I feel really disconnected with my culture just because I don't know Spanish at all. But my grandpa used to talk to me and my sister only in Spanish, but he passed away when we were really young. And my grandma also knew Spanish, but she never really pushed it on us as much as our grandpa tried to. So in ways I feel really disconnected with not knowing any Spanish, because in some ways that makes me feel like I don't know who I am because I don't know my own native language.
Ways I think people should understand about being adopted in general, but also adopted from Guatemala, is kind of your identity issues. Yes, we are Guatemalan, but we don't feel like it. So just understanding and bringing that space to people and not pushing people to express themselves in ways that they haven't. Adoptees could be going through something and you shouldn't be pushing them to have these weird conversations with you just because you're nosy. But also people should understand many adoptees feel grateful for what they have here in the United States or just anywhere. We're able to be given more opportunities than we would, so it's just we feel grateful, but yes, we do have underlying identity issues and underlying just overall issues we have with ourselves.
For a while there was a time where I really struggled with realizing or just trying to comprehend who I am. I know that's weird, oh, you know who you are, I don't know, it's just there was a part of me that's you'll never know really who you are, because there's questions that kids get to know. It's just simple little things oh, what time were you born, where you were born, and I'll never really know any of those kind of questions, or it's just in weird ways I just don't know. I feel I don't know really who I am, so sometimes I feel disconnected with myself. So I do feel it has shaped me in a way by being adopted in different ways that other people who aren't adopted will never understand. I was able to go to Guatemala this past summer. It was my first time returning to the country since I was adopted, so an infant. So I was able to go with my sister, who's also adopted, and my mother, and it was a very eye-opening experience because I've never really done research on the country itself or look on what the streets look like. During the trip, we got to give back to the community, and we got to build bunk beds for houses with kids that didn't have any, they've never had a bed. We went in there and there was only one bed for the whole family, and it was just a hut. The ground was just dirt and the walls were literally just cement, and like that was it. And they probably had like one dresser and a bed in there. And like the first house we went to, I remember I just started like bawling, crying, because I, like, in my head I thought like this could be me, like I could be back there just living there and like having nothing. So I'm very grateful that I'm able to have what I have.
We went to this school that is for like kids from like infants to like, I don't know, what we would call like seniors, so like grade 12. So we were able to meet the kids, play games with them, whether it was like soccer, make little crafts with them. And what we did, we painted nails of like little girls, and it was so much fun. Like I was like nonstop smiling, like painting their little nails, and they've never had nail polish before.
Found out that I had 4 other siblings, but I don't know who they are. And I found out they all still live with my mom, and I'm the only one who's not. And then I found out my birth dad was dead, so sorry. I found out that I'll never really know what he'll look like, or just like compare myself to him. So
I have, 4 other siblings. I have 3 older, and then it's me, and then 1 younger sister, but she's like a half sister. We have not contacted our biological parents. There has been times where I'm just like looking through the pictures that were sent to me, and I'm just like, I literally have their phone numbers. I could call them right now. But I do think at this time I won't, like right now. But I think I just need to be in the right mind space to be able to do that. Ask these questions of like, why me? Why not my other siblings? Why did you have another daughter like right after me? What happened to my biological father? Like just stuff like that I want to know. But also I think at the same time I just feel like I'm too busy. I think in a way, like I say, like, oh, I'm too busy to do this as an excuse of like what I truly feel.
I feel like if the parents should have in mind that they should incorporate their culture still, or at least try to teach them their culture and give them that option. And if they don't want to take it, then they don't have to. But I still feel like in the conversation of adopting a kid from an international country, you should still teach them their culture, or like teach them their language. Or if they ask something like, hey, like I really want to learn my language, like give them an opportunity that they can try. My name is Juliana.
My name is Alina, and I was adopted.
And I was adopted from Guatemala.